down your faith, no, no. Keep from fighting, a big shout out to Shoget. I salute you, my people, as a Simon Bar. Life is sweet when you patient. The greatest shout out goes to the medium great talents. They won. Life is a process. No matter how you go about it. Masi Okejukungere, Omaloke, the Biafra Republic of Maintenance campaigning for global Biafran financial support for the purpose of Finland Convention, Biafra Defense Forces, and the declaration related to let's come together and support our Prime Minister, Master Simon Bar, who is currently working tirelessly to hand over office this year, 2024. Freedom is coming, yeah, yeah. Yo, 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 yo. Masio Kechukunkiri. Salute from specialists.
So, and when he expired, the people now don't even want to be together because things are not just made up investment or real estate for some countries that want to be, but for the people of Biafra, we are not benefiting from it. So we are asking the community, and with your voice, we really have the Biafran people love you, they love, speaking out for them. And we watch your tweet this morning, the video went viral, which point a mistake that was made. In 1967 to 1970, where the whole Biafran people, maybe because of the war going on in other part of the world, live with and the voice of United States of America and other world leaders, they will be able to come to the end
People must come. Enough is enough. When you travel to the north, do you live in the forest in the north? The Igbo people in Sabongeri in Kano, are they living of course it's Hausa land? Are they living in the forest? They came to the town. They work very hard. they build houses, they build mansions, they develop the entire place. Is that not what they do? What are Fulani people doing in our forest? Nobody can answer that question. They say that they're pastoralists. World aspiring to be a member of the UN Security Council. You so-called Nigerians, are you not the brain? I'm asking you a simple question. A country that aspires to be in the 21st century, moving cattle from place to place, telling me they're grazing. Which country is for me? These are people they have prepared for you to sell you down the drain. By the time the Fulanis are done, believe you me, if you don't rise up now to fight for your freedom, by the time Fulanis are done with you, you'll be more useless than a Hausa peasant. If you allow yourselves to be deceived, things can only get worse. Terrorists will take over your land. Time and time again, I have warned you on this very, but some of you never ever listen.
I welcome all of you to this tour of Belgium. I want everyone to understand that we have picking up guns to defend our land, and the gun is not going down until the Biafra is liberated from the Islamic State of Nigeria. For decades, Biafra people have been treated like slaves in the Nigeria enslavement. Over 100 years, we have suffered marginalization, and we have seen worse than the appetite. Today,
1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 2 is 4, don't give up when it's so close, so close. Okay, Chukukama. No. Okay, Chukukama. Believe in your dreams, brother. Okay, Chukukama. Never you say no. Okay, Chukukama. Okay, Chukukama. Okay, Chukukama. No. Okay, Chukukama. Keep your head up. Keep on fighting more. Okay, Chukukama. Okay, Chukukama. A big shout out to Chukukama. I salute you. I PM. Master Simon. Life is sweet when you're shamed. The greatest shout out goes to the media team, great talents. They won. Life is a process. No matter how you go about it. The Biafra Republic Government in Exile is humbly campaigning for Biafran financial support for the purpose of Finland Convention, Biafran Defense Forces, and activities. Appreciate all Biafrans who have been supporting our liberation movement. I also urge everyone to support more than ever, especially in these critical times. Oh, my fellow lovely great Biafrans, let's come together and support our Simon, who is currently working tirelessly to hand over our freedom to us this year 2024. Freedom is coming, yeah. Yo. Masio Gechukunkiri. Salute every Biafran especially. Yeah. Okay, Chukukama. Chukukama. No. Chukukama. Onyamana gidigidi bulongu. Okay, Chukukama. Didi Chukukasebele. Okay, Chukukama. Okay, Chukukama. Okay, Chukunkere kelunu. Okay, Chukukama. Obukaina yono. Okay, Chukukama. Okay, Chukukaina yas. Okay, Chukukama. There is no magic to progress and success in life. Life gives back what you give to it. It takes a man who believes in great wealth. So keep working hard. Never lose hope in what you believe in. Life is not you. Sigh. Make it tangible. I want to use this special opportunity to recognize great team for Juku. I can't forget General Philip Effiong. Welcome, Dalo Saw. Come to the man underground. Woman who could be way. I ain't enough one. Airborne. De facto government in homeland. Special recognition to friends who have been supporting from day one. May Elohim continue to flourish you in your different endeavors. This is Mazilam Digno, Ohamadike, Wano Biafra, Egadi. The Prime Minister, PEOPLE.WE. Come on, okay, Chukama. No, okay, Chukama. Oh, no, man, give the bakulo. Okay, Chukama. Well, look, the Chukuka Sebele. Okay, Chukama. Oh, okay, Chukama. I'm a big on your body. Okay, Chukama. Okay, Chukuka. Oge Chukukama, Oge Chukukayina Yona, Oge Chukuma. Ayole, Aiga Kolone Garole, Ubi Bole, Chetakwana Lubafua. 1 + 1 is 2, 2 + 2 is 4, you know. Don't give up when he's so close. He's so close. Okay, Chukukama. Never you give up, no. Okay, Chukukama. Believe in your dreams, brother. Okay, Chukukama. Never you say no, 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 no. Okay, Chukukama. Okay, Chukukama. Never you down your bed, no, no. Okay, Chukukama. Keep your head up, keep on fighting. Okay, Chukukama. Oyabala, Jodo. Okay, Chukukama. Tumazi, okay, Chukukere. I salute you, my PM, Mazi Simoni Ba. Life is sweet when you're patient. The greatest shout out goes to the media team. Great talents. They won.
I did not jump in. I did not jump in. Yes, I did not jump in. They came to my house just to kill me. He not jump in. Tell the Igbo man did not jump in. You're Nigerian army just to see me there. Defendant did not jump bail. Defendant did not jump bail. I need my witness in court to testify in Abuja. Oh, your uncle Rulema, he did not jump bail. Igbo man does not run. Igbo man does not jump your bail. United Nations.
Ambition from Kenya. Oh.
Your own God, my Lord, I am dead already, yes, dead already. The only thing that can bring me back is Biafra. This life is meaningless without freedom, real freedom. Biafra. Oh, rise up like the Nigeria peacefully. Referendum, referendum. Now freedom. Oh, Nigeria, own God ruling, my Lord, my Lord. Your own God, my Lord, I did not jump. Evil man does not run. Real man no jump bail. Why thou prosecutes me? Persecuted an innocent man. There is God, oh yes, there is God. The whole world is watching. I did not jump in. Yes, I did not jump in. Jump in. They came out to kill me, to kill like Lagos. They Quito get style, Quito get style. Korean army came to kill me, just to see me dead. Oh, 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 I saw it. Defender, I did not jump in. To defend myself, Nigeria, obey your own court order. I did not jump the bill. They came to kill extra.
Wonderful Biafrans, lovers of freedom all over the world. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your location and your time. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for joining us. Please, as you join us, share, like, and subscribe to our channel. If you have not subscribed to our channel, please do so. Thank you so much and welcome to today's episode of our broadcast on this platform of the questionnaire anchored by myself, Mazi David Nana. Today, my wonderful listeners and Biafrans, we are going to look into Biafra allies. The allies that the Biafran people are making in Washington, D.C. First of all, please, if this is your first time of joining our platform, subscribe to my channel. I see you, Martins Augustus. Thank you for joining us. Those of you who are listening on X, thank you. Welcome. Those listening through Facebook and on YouTube, thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us and welcome. Yes, I must have to appreciate every one of you that is doing the needful, every one of you that is seeing our freedom. I have to appreciate each and every one of you. I salute every one of you that is supporting this freedom. This is our time to be free out of the terrorist Nigerian state. This is Biafran time. This is Biafran time. There is nothing, absolutely nothing anybody can do about it. There is nothing anybody can do about Biafran time. Chukwu Okike Abiama had destined that Biafra will be free in this 21st century. It doesn't matter what the enemies are doing. It doesn't matter all the obstacles on the way. It is our time to be free. It is the time for our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to be free. This is the time for our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpanjoku to be free. This is the time for Biafrans who are illegally detained in that evil contraption called Nigeria. This is the time for us to be free. Sufferings under Nigeria should come to an end. Yes, we have suffered much here. Our fathers suffered, died fighting for Biafra. Our fathers died to restore God's kingdom on this planet Earth. And we are here today to complete that task. We must complete it in this, our generation, in this 21st century. It is our time to shine. It is our time to be free. There is nothing anybody can do to stop our freedom. So, being part of this freedom, this is for you to join and support your freedom. Those who are in charge of this freedom, the government that is in charge of this freedom in Washington, D.C. is Biafran Republic government in exile. What is our mission and vision for Biafra as a nation? Quickly, we go into our, want us to go into our website, want us to go into our website. Our website reads, the nations of the United States of Biafra, comprising of 40 confederating states with an estimated 8 million people, occupying the core geographically south of Nigeria at approximately latitude 44 degrees of the equator and 6 degrees north, 40 degrees north and 60 degrees east. was born out of exigencies of existential threat. One of the most sacred duties of a nation to its citizens is protection from external aggression. Nigeria as a nation failed woefully in protecting its citizens from external aggression and rather facilitated it in the most unmistakable fashion. Thus made the emergence of a nation that protects its citizens, indigenous population, inevitable. That nation is the United States of Biafra, where peace, equity, unity, and progress shall prevail, and a nation that joins the United States of America in proclaiming that we are endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights, including life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. A nation that will provide for all of its citizens resources and facilitate the need to attain their God-given potential. So this is the statement from our government. The reason why we fight for Biafra is because Nigeria have failed. Nigeria failed to protect our people. Nigeria have failed to give us the desired life. Nigeria have failed to bring peace, unity, equity, and progress in our domains. And that necessitated the emergence of Biafra, so that all those things that Nigeria failed to provide for us, our government, our nation Biafra, will now provide it for us. So this is the reason why we are fighting for Biafra. Our approach to Biafra, the first reason our approach to Biafra is security. We want to resist attacks and roll back enemy encampments across our land. Number two, refugees. We have to provide asylum applications, services to Biafrans seeking refugee protection in a foreign land. Three, diplomacy. We have to share our story and build alliance around the world. For preparation, we have to assemble detailed and actionable plans for implementation within our various departments as we progress through the stages of regaining our freedom. That is the approach of the Biafran Republic government in exile. This is the approach of our leader, and that is the approach of our prime minister. Then what is on? Let us state unequivocally that the United States of Biafra is and will remain economically viable, given abundant human and material resources that have remained largely untapped under the new colonialist rule of the Fulani hegemony. There is a popular saying, place where there is life, there is wealth. We make this remark in deference to the present Nigerian state that is pursuing policies to annihilate the indigenous people. Nigeria has become a massive crime scene, a death trap, with thousands of people killed daily from avoidable circumstances, ranging from accident to road accident due to poor state of roads, through Fulani kidnappings and killings of their victims, to Fulani invasions and indiscriminate killing of our people in the invaded communities. It is apt to say, where there is death, there is no wealth. Economic wealth is accretive, and the dynamics are substantially disturbed by the incessant loss of lives that characterize the Nigerian state, hence its perpetuity in poverty. Thus, the nation of the United States of Biafra seeks to establish a nation that creates wealth, recognizes the sanctity of life, and protects every life with all of its might. A nation where equity and justice shall prevail. Such a nation facilitates and provides resources for all of its citizens to develop their God-given talent and attain the highest height possible without hindrance. None of this was possible in Nigeria. As a result, Biafrans choose to become an independent state with state powers to protect its territory, provide security to lives and properties, and create the enabling environment for Biafrans people's human and material resources to develop their God-given potential. Any nation that makes honest effort to meet the needs of its population will generate substantial economic activity. There will be nothing like economic activity if people just keep what they have without changing what they have for what they don't have. It is this simple exchange of goods and services that creates economic activity, which is the basis for economic viability. Our vision, the vision of the Biafran Republic government in exile, is a prosperous Biafra, where every citizen will have an economic wealth, where every citizen will be taken care of by the state of Biafra, where every citizen will be free to do his or her business without the Fulanese invasions in our communities, discriminate killings of our people, without them invading our communities, burning our goods and services, and making sure that our daily lives are difficult. Nigerian government have not been able to provide all these necessities for the Biafran people. Hence, we are exiting Nigeria. All this, our vision, we are tabled before the American Congress because they have our Biafran Charter. And that is why America accepted to be an ally of the Biafran people. So I want to read our policy, okay? I've read our vision. Now it's our policy. There is a saying in historical geography, the past is the key to the present, and the present the future. Put differently, you need to understand where you are coming from to understand where you are going. The old eastern region, comprising of most of the present-day Biafra, was said to have achieved an economic miracle, and its economy during the era of regional government grew and is totally at over 24% annually. The region was able to achieve this feat by investing in education, human resource development, agriculture, and industry. Regrettably, Biafran people lost everything as a consequence of losing the 1967 to 1970 civil war to the destructive Nigeria state. So we have a very viable economy before the war, the Michael Okpara's economic blueprint. So all these things were lost during the war. And without economic viability, we cannot grow. Our people cannot be able to be prosperous in their human endeavors. So Many nations, notably Asian countries, have been able to transfer their economy in the shortest possible through aggressive investment in education. Singapore, for example, at a point committed as 38% of its gross domestic product and before long to education, and before long their investment in education. Today, Singapore is one of the world leading knowledge economies. The beauty of having an educated workforce is that companies all over the world will come looking for you. At the global manufacturing diversification, logistics, and politics play out, you are likely to become an attractive target. In the minimum, an educated workforce allows local entrepreneurship to flourish. As new companies spring up, they find an available and ready workforce to supply their growth. Education is the key to full employment and economic sustainability, thus the foundation of self-reliance and economic viability of any nation. So we are going to have a brain-based economy. And in so doing, Biafrans will not be able, we are not going to base our economy based on the oil and gas that we have deposited in our land. Rather, we are going to educate our people to have the knowledge and technical know-how so that we can attract nations to Biafra. We can attract we have an attractive working force, and the other nations and other countries, because of our educated local entrepreneurship, we are going to flourish as new companies will spring up, and they are going to find Biafrans who have had a lot of support and education in any area of their choice, and they can be able to fit into the economic empowerment of the Biafran nation. This is the foundation for self-reliance and a basis for economic viability of the Biafran nation. In other words, our economy will be brain-based. The United States of Biafra will seek to reattain 24% economic growth, a feat it once attained in its territory, by investing a significant proportion of its GDP, possible 30 to 40%, aggressively in education and human resource development, with a focus on science and technology, engineering, biomedical sciences, social sciences, indigenous sciences. The goal is to educate, retain, and reorient the population aggressively in the shortest possible period. After over a half century of abuse and neglect by the Nigerian state that have left so many people with no future other than crime, such a drastic investment in education and human resource development is necessary to usher in the required social reengineering necessary to show the people that it is possible to live a fulfilling life without crime. Prepare them for and with the skills to work in a high-tech economy. The formal education will also promote existing formal education structures such as the apprenticeship models in Biafran territories. It recognizes that education empowers every human to stretch to the limit of his or her potential he or she is doing. Exactly. Before the war, we have the fastest growing economy. And the vision is to enact that possibility when Biafra is fully restored. So the Biafran nation will focus on education, empowerment, educating our people so that they can engage in educative services that will provide a lot of investment opportunities in Biafra. Once our people are educated enough, they can be able to fit in into any program that is geared towards investment in education and the human resource development is necessary so that we are going to usher in the required social reengineering necessary to show our people that it is possible for us to work, to do whatever outside criminal activities that Nigerian government is known for. Because these things are not present in the present day Nigeria, that is why you see people, when they finish school, they don't have anything to engage them with. They go into criminal activities. But in Biafra, we are going to explore all possibilities, both in skill, in high tech, in education, both in formal education, and in every human endeavor, including the stewardship apprenticeship in Biafran territory, where we are going to modernize it because it recognizes that education powers every human being to stretch the limits of his potential in whatever you can do. With education, the sky is your starting point. So in the United States of Biafra knowledge economy, individual must earn a living wage, which gives them the ability to feed themselves, clothe themselves, provide shelter for themselves, and transport to and fro their work. Such individual must be expected to dispense the job for which they earn a living without expecting bribes or any form of endorsement from the person who are beneficiaries of the services they are paid to. It shall be a criminal offense for individuals to accept bribes or gift of any kind from people who are beneficiaries of the services which their individual is employed to discharge. These services include all types of classes of services rendered in private or public places of employment, including all governmental, public and private institutions, police, military, academic institutions, healthcare, etc. Exactly. In other words, anywhere that you are engaged in working in Biafran territory under Biafra, you are going to get paid. If you are learning job, you are going to get paid so that at the end of it, you are going to take care of your transportation. The money you are going to receive will take care of your feeding and your clothing, including uh, uh, um, your housing. Okay, because once you are contented with what you have, once the government or your work can provide all these necessary amenities for you, there is no need for you to indulge into corruption. This is the policy that Biafra intends to build into its citizens, and that is why America will be our ally. We have all been allies with America because of the policy that we have, which is part towards human resource development and not about corruption. All ministries and departments in the United States of Biafra institutions must conform with these ideals and develop department-specific policies and guidelines consistent with the laws of the United States of Biafra, international law, and best practices to improve efficiency, optimize productivity, and eliminate waste and redundancy. Organizational structures are expected to be flat or minimally hierarchical if outright flat structure is impractical. This also entails that supervision and subordination within an organization must follow clearly defined rules and scope of work. In other words, everybody will be committed to what he or she is doing, and you are going to be rewarded according to how you demonstrate how inclined or how committed you are towards your work. Not in a case of monkey is working, but is the one receiving salary. No, everybody must be engaged, and this must be enshrined in the laws of our nation. And that is why we are looking for a society, a nation that is free from corruption, a nation that will be absolutely absolutely the opposite of Nigeria, and that nation is going to be Biafra. Nation is Biafra, and there is nothing that can make us change our stand, because Biafra is our destination. So, my wonderful Biafrans and lovers of freedom all over the world, today, America is the best ally that the Biafran people can have in Africa. The emergence of Biafra will put a stop to the terrorism that is brewing or raising its ugly head in Africa. The reason why Biafran government is going to United States of America is because when American leads, others follow. This is Biafran US alliance. The Biafran US alliance is a strategic partnership for Biafran development and freedom. Yes, you can see it here. This is Briggy US Alliance. The Briggy US Alliance is a strategic partnership for freedom and development. Yeah, this alliance we are talking about stems from political recognition. The Biafran government in exile, we are asking the American government to recognize Biafra. And once Biafra is recognized, we are going to be a very strong ally of America in Africa. We are going to have political cooperation, security cooperation, structural development, civic and identity program, and it's going to be symbolic wins all over. This Biafra US alliance will be the best of its kind in Africa. Just like the American government is warning Nigeria against the Christian genocide that is happening in Nigeria. We are calling and appealing to the American government to use this opportunity to establish that military base. One of the things are presented by our acting Prime Minister. There are negotiations that have gone behind the scene with the American government and Biafra. And in the negotiations, setting up a military base in Biafran land is in that document. So we are appealing to American government. This is the time to now start the embrace, the engagement into that Biafra US alliance, in order that the Nigerian government will understand that we, the Biafran people, we are not joking, we are not playing games, we are no longer interested in anything Nigeria, and that we are now in partnership as an ally to the American government. Because our people have died enough, just like the policies that I just read now. You can see that the Nigerian policy are exactly opposite of what I just read. Nigerian policy is that policy of annihilation, policy policy. That is what the Nigerian policy is all about. But our policy to be that people oriented, while our people have the opportunity to say what happens in their government, to vote and be able to be meaningfully engaged in the activities that happens in their territories. Not in a situation whereby in Nigeria you have two laws for two different people. While the 12 states in the north are practicing Sharia, those in the south, they are practicing secular states, where everybody is free to worship anything that you feel like. But in the north, you are not free. And because the Muslims, the Fulanis, are in charge of political office, they use their religion to intimidate others. So this is not a case of Biafra. In Biafra, we have three religions, and every other religion is going to be incorporated in Biafra. But the three major religions we have in Biafra is Christianity, Judaism, every other religion can function in Biafra, but these are the three major religions. But in Nigeria, as it stands now, they say they are in secular state, but you can't even practice your religion, your faith, free of charge. No, you can't even practice that. It is very, very costly. And Nigeria is now regarded as the worst country in the world where Christians can be. To be a Christian in Nigeria is very, very expensive, very, very costly. It is even more costlier than buying private jet. You can imagine. So when you are a Christian in Nigeria, your life is at risk. So we don't want to be in that kind of evil contraption. So that is why we have done everything humanly possible to make sure that we have a better policy and program for our people. And we are looking up to the leader of the free world because they have the same policy with their people. And that is why we are aligning with America. That is why they are our allies at this time. And we are also very much free to welcome every other country that will be in the same agreement with us, with what we believe in. Not Nigeria. Nigerians are Islamists. The Muslims that we have in Nigeria are the terrorist type of Muslims. So we are not comfortable with that. So, and this is a call for everybody to come on board right now and support, Biafra.
Said a defender did not jump bail, defending not jump bail. I need my witnesses in court to testify in Abuja. Oh, your uncle ruling my lord, he did not jump bail. Igbo man does not run. Igbo man does not jump your bail. Your own God, man, said that he did not jump bail. My lord, my lord, my lord. I don't know, it should be contrary to the Constitution of Nigeria, Constitution of United Nations.
Extradition from Kenya.
Your own Biafra. Oh, rise up like the rising sun, Nigeria, Nigeria, divide peacefully. Referendum,
Let them go.
referendum. Now is African man, freedom. Oh, Nigeria, own call ruling, my lord, my lord. Your own God, my lord, I did not jump bail. Igbo man does not run, real man no jump bail. Why thou prosecutes me, my lord? Persecute an innocent man, my lord. There is God, oh yes, there is a God. The whole world is watching. I did not jump bail. Yes, I did not jump bail. Jump bail. Jump bail. They came to my house to kill me, to kill like Lagos. Let it all get style. Nigerian army came to kill me, just to see me. Oh, I saw it, I saw it.
I saw you say,
Defender,
self-defender, did not jump in.
I did not jump in.
Stand tall, I stand.
To defend myself, Nigeria, obey your own.
All right, the hour is here. We all know the reason why we are here today. We are here for our freedom because it's our right. And today is our first congressional briefing. And we have our special guest here. We Biafrans are familiar with who he is someone who advocates for freedom, human rights, and also religious rights. We have our special guest, Marco Ruby. And Ruby is Senior Fellow, American Enterprise Institute. Thank you, Marco.
Thank you very much, Mr. Acting Prime Minister. I don't need, first of all, it's good to see Biafra represented so well in Washington, D.C. Unlike in Nigeria, and unlike in Finland, we're not going to arrest dissidents. I'm a historian by training, and especially with this audience, we don't need to tell you that Biafra may have redeclared its independence, but it is a long history. And if we count the maps that European merchants, geographers, and other travelers made dating back to the 17th century, then Biafra is actually older than the United States of America. We're not talking about a so-called secession. We're talking about decolonization. And when we look at Africa today, we must recognize that the problem of colonialism is no longer based in London and in Paris. It's based in places like Abuja and Lagos. The fact of the matter is, and for that matter, Yaoundé as well, the fact of the matter is that we are witnessing a second wave of civilization in Africa right now. Biafra, Amazon. And unfortunately, what has occurred in Biafra in the late 1960s and so forth isn't the only genocide that the 20th century has seen. But what makes the history and the recognition of the Biafran genocide so important is that when the Jews suffered the Holocaust, Germany afterwards acknowledged the Holocaust. The ideology that led to Nazism became stigmatized. Yes, there are still Nazis, but it is an ideology which is outside the realm of acceptable belief. The problem with genocide denial isn't simply a denial of fact, a denial of history, but when you acknowledge the genocide, what you're actually doing is throwing a life raft to the ideology upon which that genocide occurred. So when you have someone like the late Muhammadu Buhari, whose hands were covered up from the events of the Biafra genocide, rise to the presidency of Nigeria without anyone acknowledging his role, that simply perpetrates and legitimizes that genocide. Now, when it comes to genocide denial, I also have this to say. When people debate foreign policy in the United States, one of the progressive slogans that we hear time and time again is no blood for oil. Well, I have a message for Alexander Studd. No genocide for oil. Finland has been a disgrace. Stood has cowed to Turkey at the expense of other dissidents for the sake of getting Turkey to lift its de facto veto for Finland's NATO membership. Now he's kowtowing to the Nigerian government by arresting Simon Ekpa for the sole reason of against genocide and of providing, frankly, at this point, the only reasonable way forward given the actions of the Nigerian state. Now, we can't engage in wishful thinking, and unfortunately, that's been the problem in the United States. I would argue that Europe is more engaged in a cynicism, where they simply want Nigeria's oil, and let's be frank, it's not Nigeria's oil, it's Biafra, the Delta region and so forth. The fact of the matter is they and way that is so contrary to life, liberty, justice, freedom, political rights.
this term ex-Nigeria. And please, Nigeria is the Yugoslavia of Africa. Please, it is absolutely vital to study the role model former Yugoslavia of ex-Yugoslavia. It was also a powerful state in its time. For 40 years it was a prison of nations. It was horror and terror, striking terror in the Austrians and in the neighbors' minds and hearts. And everybody was afraid, internal and external, of Yugoslavia. And why don't have you heard about it recently? No, it fell apart. It's no more. It's over. And there are 7 new states out of this terrible horror prison of nations. The ex-Yugoslavia, the ex-Nigeria. Here's the parallel. Also, when there will be more states developing out of ex-Nigeria. Republic, similar to Kosovo, import measures, independence referendum, failing economics, failing doctrine. This is the way, and it is already done in Kosovo. You can do it as well. It works very well. The American support is, of course, essential, and you have it with Ted Cruz and the president yesterday's message. And then, of course, the Declaration of Independence you did already. Now it must be internationally recognized and then, of course, established. Yeah? If you have to fight for, like declarations, that will be necessary. Have to fight for, like it was of ex-Yugoslavian breakup, because it has led to the prosperity of the new now in NATO and in the EU. Slovenia, Croatia, extremely successful countries. Less successful maybe Bosnia and Kosovo, but rising very fast because they were extremely poor. And now they are really decent countries. I know them very well. I worked and lived in many of them. And this is the role model for ex-Nigeria. It will be much better, because why? You have a state which you like, you share abilities, it will defend you, and you can live in and invest in prosperity, and there will be no harm done to anybody in Biafra, and that will be much better, of course. Then you want to invest, you have the adjustment, you do all the mechanisms which we have done in Eastern Europe so successful in ex-Yugoslavia. We know exactly how to do it. Come and study how it was in Kosovo, Montenegro, Macedonia, and of course in Serbia. That will be the rump state of mini Nigeria, and there will be still, it will be a substantial state, it will be absolutely vital. So will be Biafra. So please have no fear. It was all done before. Study the role model of ex-Yugoslavia for ex-Nigeria and work for freedom, and study what was done in Kosovo by advisors like me, and it was very successful. And it can be the same for Biafra. The time is now, freedom will come, ex-Nigeria is coming. Please recognize the Biafra Republic. Thanks a lot from Vienna. Bye.
That is just a message from our brother telling you how evil and bad Nigeria is. So he has told you how evil Nigeria is. It's very, very important that we understand that Nigeria can never work. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. That is why we must join hands and support Biafra. Biafra as a nation. Biafra is the only solution to the evil that is happening in that contraption called Nigeria. So we encourage each and every one of you to join and support our government so that we can be free as a people. Very, very important. One minute.
Go on with the Biafran people.
Well, thank you, Your Excellency. My name is Jim Moran. I served in the United States Congress for approximately a quarter of a century. After I left the Congress, I began to represent some corporations and countries and causes that I believe in. It has been an honor to work with you, Your Excellency. Elias Gerasulis is my partner. This is primarily Elias's account, but I'm going to be working with him. While I was in the Congress, I was on the committee that funds defense and State Department foreign operations, as well as the Foreign Relations Committee. I have an interest in Africa. I was a principal co-sponsor of the African Growth and Opportunity Act. And most importantly, I do believe that Biafran independence is a just and noble cause. And I trust that you have a bright future ahead. We will try to secure your independence. We can't promise because the politics is not a particularly predictable situation in the United States today, and justice is not always served, but we will work towards that objective. I appreciate the opportunity to work on behalf of the Biafran people, and at this point, let me turn it over to Elias. Elias?
Oh, thank you, Jim. And it's an honor to be working with you on this. And we appreciate your lending, your support, someone of your prestige and stature. That association would be so critical. So thank you, Jim. I appreciate it. And thank you, Mr. Prime Minister, Your Excellencies, and dear Biafrans in the United States and around the world. My name is Elias Gerasulis, and I am a good friend and colleague of Congressman Moran, and we are your new lobbyists here in Washington, D.C. However, you should know that we are more than just your lobbyists. We are fellow freedom fighters in the struggle for the liberation by Biafra. And similar to how your compatriots in Biafran Defense Forces are securing your freedom on the homeland, we will be fighting for the political and diplomatic battlefield here in Washington, D.C. And we will make sure that all these U.S. officials, all these Congress leaders understand that the Biafran independence movement is a pure democratic civilian uprising against injustice, the very same one that we had in the United States when we declared our independence from the British 200 years ago. On a personal level, I knew I had to get involved in this struggle, not only because of my belief in the Biafran cause, but my belief in His Excellency, the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. As I got to know the Prime Minister, I could see that he has remarkable leadership qualities, and I knew that instinctively that he was a man of destiny and that he will have a very important impact in Africa in the years to come. And I thought it was a personal duty to assist him. Already, the Prime Minister has made remarkable progress and has outsmarted the Nigerian system in many ways. The Prime Minister has done this with the self-referendum. He has done this with opening diplomatic liaison offices around the world. And I think by establishing a proper Biafran lobby in Washington, D.C., has delivered his master stroke. And if you can look at the Nigerian media and the social media, you will see that this is something that's been highly publicized. And I think this is because they understand the moment that the United States starts to gain more support for the Biafran cause, it will be a game changer. Because when the United States leads, other countries follow. Congressman Moran and myself are your voice to the U.S. Congress, your voice to the White House, your voice to the State Department, your voice to the highest offices in this great land. And we will not stop until victory is achieved. Long live a free, independent, and sovereign Biafra. Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that brilliant speech there. Layers, we are happy to have you on board, and we have a lot of things to do together. Thank you. This particular appearance today is just to present you to the Biafrans in the United States. As I made my promise, I have fulfilled it. It is now that we go out there and do what we know how to do best for the interest of Biafra.
Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister. It's our honor, and we look forward to serving you in the cause. Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister.
Thank you very much. Nice to have you.
Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister. It was a pleasure to see you again.
Thank you.
Look forward to working with you.
It's just a made up investment or some countries that want to benefit, but for the people of Biafra, we are not benefiting from it. So we are asking the international community, and with your voice, we really appreciate it. The Biafran people love you. They love what speaking out for them. And we watched your tweet this morning. The video went viral, which you pointed out that the was made 1997 to 1970, where the whole world, especially Europe, ignored the Biafran people, maybe because of the war going on in other part of the world. But we believe with your voice and the voice of United States of America and other world leaders, they will be able to come to the aid to save the life of Biafrans. So just trying to bring peace to that country called Nigeria will never just work. It's just a different, it's like bringing the United States of America, Canada, Venezuela, Mexico, and you say Jamaica, you come and from now on, you all are one country. If they are separate country, they are separate country. Thank you very much. Gunter, we really appreciate you. Honorable Minister of Information, I know you have one or two things to say. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my acting Prime Minister, and thank you, our friend and our brother that have just realized that we need help. Thank you so much. And in your video, you pointed out earlier, it was really touching, and we appreciate.
Thanks a lot. I want to apologize again for President Nixon and the leaders of France and Britain at that time that we have not helped the Biafran people 50 years ago during genocide. I call that the European Parliament adopts a resolution to condemn the genocide against Christians, against Biafrans in Nigeria. And again, my call, it's time for ex-Nigeria. It's time for independence of Biafra Republic. And it will be very welcome in the family of free nations. You will be a very good state. We will support you to build up good institutions, good governance, good market economy. And we know exactly how to do it. And you are very welcome to join the free world. And please, the prosecution of Christians in Nigeria must absolutely stop. And as long as you are part of Nigeria, it will never stop, because always they will suppress you. So independence is the absolutely noble cause. And you have to look at examples like Montenegro, like Kosovo. They broke away from Yugoslavia, a similar failed nation like Nigeria. And it's for you to choose this way towards independence. And I hope that the United States of America and the European Union and also the United Kingdom will support you.
Thank you very much, Gonta. And we also want to use this opportunity to let the European Union and the entire world understand that the freedom of the Biafran people will also be an end to the terrorists that are looking up to invade the European circle. Yes, because the terrorists that we are looking at in Nigeria, they are trying to make the indigenous lands in Nigeria to become their safe haven, from where they will now project the attack to the European system, to the American, and to the entire Western world. So, coming to make sure these terrorists are crushed out, an independent state or nations comes to be within this territory is the best thing that can ever happen. And if we don't do this, they will stay there, wipe out the entire people there, and then use that place as their base to now launch attack on the international community. The American friends have done investigation and brought this out, that this is the plan, that if they don't look into it, that this is what will come to be in the nearest future. This came up like 5 years, and now it is happening before our very eyes. So if we all ignore this, before you know it, it will spread all over. Thank you so much, Gunter. And I don't know if my acting Prime Minister have something to add before.
Yeah, sure. And just like Honorable Minister of Information pointed out a few years ago, the U.S. Intelligence Department, they pointed out that the terrorists, they try to make Nigeria their safe haven, where they can now gather, and from there they will launch attack all over the world. So it's very concerning. And this Islamic we're talking about, it's not like they want to coexist. If they want to exist, we Biafrans, we have exercised that for years. If you go to the north of the Nigeria, most of the development businesses, they are owned by the Biafrans. You go to the southwest, the same thing. We are people Republican by nature, and we are so industrious. And if you talk about the economic hub of so-called Nigeria, are the Biafran people. They are hardworking people. We try to coexist. While we're planning to coexist, they're planning to eliminate us. They're planning to kill us. And this ideology starts from their founder, I call Osman Fodo, in 1806. He made sure that their goal, their plan is to overrun the Biafran land, overrun the entire region, chase us out, take our land. If they want to coexist with us, we don't have problem. The problem here is that they want to kill you. If you don't convert to their religion, they will kill you, rape your women, behead people, cut hand, burn house. The violence is extreme. And to the extent that the good news now is that when we Biafrans have been crying out for years, maybe Europe don't really realize the danger. It's happening in some part of UK now. Some part of London, it look in Afghanistan. Some part of Belgium, Netherlands, France, they are all struggling to get their country back because their lifestyle, their ideology, this extremist way of life is not compatible. And civilization is Christianity and Judaism. That's what brought us to the modern civilization. We don't want to go back to 2,000, 5,000 years back. Again, we want to move forward with the free world. We love good things, good education. We want to have a better environment, safer place where we can raise our children, with good security, and when they graduate, they can have a good job. But in the country called Nigeria today, while we Biafrans are trying to make it work, they are destroying it. The Islamists, they don't bring anything to the table. Rather, all they do is cause trouble, confusion. It's happening all over the world. So the whole European Union can bear with Biafrans' weakness. How are they enjoying the Islamic jihadist terrorists in their street? Go to France, go to Paris, see how the extremists, they beat women, young on the street. They have violence. If you don't agree with them, they kill you. Who want to live? We're not just compatible. We really appreciate you, Gunter. You are God sent. People like you that are speaking up, God and the Biafran people will not forget you. You're doing a good thing, saving life, because millions of Biafrans have been killed. As I'm speaking, there is ongoing war in Biafra land. And the BDF, the Biafra Defense Force, are the ones that are fighting harder to make sure that we push the extreme out of our land. And the Nigerian terrorist state, why we refer them as terrorist state, is that over the 22 terrorist group, the Nigerian government fund them. They know where they are. They work with them. Like when I have a meet Foreign Affairs Minister of United States of America, Brian Musk, I lay out a foundation. I use a case study of what happened in Afghanistan. You remember when United States of America left Afghanistan, they left with all the equipment after they trained over 200 and something military personnel, over billions of logistics, armor tank, all the equipment. US left it with the Afghanistan army. So not knowing that over 90% of the Afghanistan army military are Taliban. So when the Taliban attack, the military just hand over everything to the Taliban. So automatically, the Taliban are funded by the Afghan military force. So I use that case, that case scenario I presented to the Foreign Affairs Minister, Brian Musk. I said, any weapon that is mistakenly or by unknowingly sell or get to the hand of the Nigerian government, since they fund the terrorists, the whole thing will still end in the hand of Boko Haram. So the Nigerian government invite all these terrorist groups. The playbook, exactly what happened in Afghanistan, is the playbook they are using in Nigeria today. When you hear that terrorists, they go to any barrack and they overrun the barrack, it's a lie. What they do is that when they go to the barrack, the army will just hand over all the military wear or logistic to the terrorists. And the same Nigerian terrorist country, they integrate these terrorists into their military. So it's just, I want the international community to know that the danger in this is that if they allow these terrorists to succeed, they will attack United States from there. They will attack Europe. And there's mineral resources in Biafra land. That's what makes it so. They already want to make sure that they capture Biafra land. And we Biafrans, we are resisting. We are fighting every day to push push back, push them out of our territory. So we don't, if they succeed, not just only Biafrans they're going to attack, they will attack the whole world. So we are pleading for the international community to come to our aid to support Biafran people 130 years ago. Nothing like Nigeria. My grandfather are not Nigerian. We have our own separate region. Did not let go back how we used to be. So thank you very much, and we really appreciate. And what the Nigerian terrorist state is doing is that they always want to make sure they bring the leaders of Biafrans that are fighting for Biafrans to bring them down or to kidnap them, arrest them, just like our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that was kidnapped from Kenya. And we also want you to use your voice to also speak about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is suffering in Nigerian detention. They can't even allow him giving passage to get a better medical treatment. And we also have Mazi Simon Ekpa in Finland, that the Nigerian government, they pressure the Finnish authority with EU, probably, you might know better, just to arrest him to see if they can from getting our freedom. And at the same time, if it is the mineral resources in our land, if that is the problem, we can negotiate. We can do deal. We can do business together, have a fair play, have a 50-50 fair play resources. We put it on the table. We want to live. We don't really worry about the resources. If you have to live before you can enjoy the resources. If they kill us, we can't even still enjoy the resources. So if the mineral resources and oil we have is the problem, America, we are open for business. EU, we are open for business. They come, we negotiate. We just want to be free people so that we can be part of this global world that God created. Is so beautiful. So Biafrans don't want to be out from this surface of the earth. Thank you very much, and hope we'll see you again. And just keep doing the good work that you're doing, and especially since you're in Europe, if you can use your voice to also talk about Mazi Simon Ekpa, that was arrested in Finland just because of fighting for Biafran freedom. So it will also,
That's very important, Mr. Prime Minister. That's very important. I call on the European Union not to extradite any political prisoners towards Nigeria, because Nigeria is an unlawful system which is prosecuting Christians, and we may not be involved in such a crime. It is absolutely outrageous if Finland considers to extradite political personalities towards Nigeria, and this absolutely must. This is against European human rights, and the situation in Nigeria does not allow to send prosecuted Christians back to Nigeria. Absolutely. I also call on the Nigerian government to release all the political prisoners and set everybody free who is prosecuted only for his or political beliefs. It's outrageous that they do that, and they have to set them free immediately. And I call again, we must seriously question the unity of Nigeria. I call it ex-Nigeria. This is the same like ex-Yugoslavia and the ex-Soviet Union. It's a non-functional state, Nigeria, and it will be much better for the people of Nigeria if there are several new states emerging out of Nigeria, and especially the Republic of Biafra will be a very good member of the African Union, will be very good member of the United Nations. They will also, I'm sure, Mr. Prime Minister, you will lead your country in the free world, and you are very welcome. Let's work together for the freedom, prosperity, security of the Biafran people.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Quanta. Thank you, Quanta.
Thank you very much. We Biafrans appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and
welcome from Vienna.
Thank you, Quanta. Let us amplify the voice of Senator Ted Cruz, because some people have come out to say, "Oh, there is no cutting off of heads of babies, women, and children." We are using this opportunity as we have a live conversation with Quanta to know that babies' heads are cut off with knives like onions.
That's really a terrible crime.
Pregnant women are cut into two. Normally, if a pregnant woman is to be sojourned on, it is done in the hospital. But what you see is that these terrorists use machete to butcher a pregnant woman into two. They even butcher the baby inside. Then the men and the women that are of age, they rape them, and at the end, they cut their heads off, cut them to pieces. And when they do this, they use their leaflet and their religious affairs to back it up and say it is stipulated in their book of Quran or Sharia that they must rape and then cut and invade communities. And this is a repetition of what happened in 1966 that led to the genocidal war, which started from 67 to 70s. We could not stand to watch our babies, women, and children slaughtered like that. So that was the reason. So if someone say, why did you declare Biafra? We declared Biafra because it was a fight for survival, so that our babies, women, and children could survive. We can't watch. It's just like October 7 invasion of Israel. When you sat down and watched that, you slept and woke up, you saw your babies, women, and children littered on the floor. So what do we have to do? We have to defend ourselves for survival. So many died of kwashiorkor, but we did have a lobbies and a voice to speak in Washington, D.C., and also to reach out to Vietnam to be able to communicate in a diplomatic manner of what is happening in Biafra land. But today, thanks to our lobbying firm, we've been able to engage the lawmakers, and it is from there that the voice amplified that you, Gunter, was able to get the message. So there is power in lobbying, and there is power in diplomatic engagement. So we appreciate you, and we look forward to working with you. Thank you so much for your time.
From Europe, from Vienna, from Austria, I wish you all the best, freedom and independence for the Republic of Biafra.
Thank you, Gunter.
Thanks a lot. Have a nice evening, and may your struggle for freedom be successful.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. I leave now. Thanks a lot for the invitation.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Honorable Minister of Information. I think if we can play GOVT video this morning that went viral as well, for those that do not have the opportunity to.
Yeah, let's do that so that those that did not have the opportunity to watch his message can get his message and know what he is doing for the Biafran people. And Biafran people looks forward to be seeing him over and over again. And we encourage all Biafrans to go to Twitter and follow him and support him everywhere. On YouTube, he set up a YouTube channel specifically. He set up that YouTube channel because he wanted to talk about Biafra. So he said, Biafran people, come and join me on this YouTube so that they can create the awareness for the Biafran. So Biafran people, please, you've got to go to, this is his username on Twitter. This is his username on Twitter. And he's the chairman, Austrian Committee for NATO Enlargement for Austria, Ukraine, Kosovo, Bosnia, EU, and other committees. So go to Twitter, follow, and then retweet everything he posts about Biafra freedom. And also go and follow, subscribe to the YouTube channel which he put. From that YouTube channel is where he broadcasted that very message which you saw before now. It was from this YouTube channel which he posted that he delivered the message. So that shows commitment, that shows sacrifice, And that shows he really wants to help the Biafran people. Yeah, here it is. Say,
We
"Dear
really appreciate it. Yeah.
please subscribe to this channel." This is where he left the message. It is time for EU and USA to recognize the Biafran people. So, Biafran people, please go and listen.
Dear Christian in the whole world and dear American President, dear European Union. This is Günther Fellinger-Jahn speaking. I'm calling here from Vienna to recognize the Republic of Biafra. Biafra in ex-Nigeria, Nigeria to my regret, yeah, and this is a non-working state, yeah, and they have committed genocide in 1967 to 1970 against the Christians of Biafra and the people of Biafra, and now they are all well, since the last 15 years, living in a terrible conditions. Yeah. They are often led for some jihadists to kill them, and there is atrocities about atrocities. And it's much better for the people of Nigeria if Biafra becomes their own state, and they can sort out then inside Nigeria the other issues, or maybe there will be other regions which are better off in this non-working state of Nigeria. So ex-Nigeria must start with Biafra, and the international community, contrary to the 1960s and 70s, must support the independence of Biafra Republic. In the 1967-90, in that tragic years, the West was at its weakest. There was the Vietnam War, and tragically Nixon, who was positive for the people of Biafra, but he did very little, and I want to apologize for his failures, and I want to especially criticize and also apologize for the Imperial UK and French who were actually supporting, due to all interests, Nigerian centralists crackdown on the poor people of Biafra. And we, as Christians, as Europeans, should absolutely stand with Biafra and support them. And that's why I call on President Trump and on the European leaders, Ursula von der Leyen, please, I beg you, I pray, recognize the Republic of Biafra. It's no need for military intervention or this thing. Just do the political steps of recognition of these poor people to have their own state and security, and of course then recognition goes with the ability to be recognized and also to defend yourself. Yeah? It's not then having a military intervention in Nigeria, having the Biafra Republic equipped and armed to be able to defend herself against invasion from the Nigerian centralist forces of that failed state. And so here the defense comes with the recognition, and that's exactly how we should do. Biafra Republic, please my friends, I beg you, recognize it and build a strong, viable state, part of the free world. And that's what I call the Fellinger doctrine and also the Fellinger economics. Yeah? Build a decent state, part of the free world, no BRICS, but OECD, no kind of alignment with genocidal Russia, but alignment with America, with the European Union, with the free world, and we will have a free trade agreement, open economics, of course the flat tax, I like very much, and the currency, which Nigeria never did, to join the Euro-Pact area. This is the best policy for West Africa, and I will be a proud member of the Euro-Pact area, and this will be delivering much more prosperity in the future, and we will trade and we will work together in the global partnership of NATO, and this is my call for Biafra Republic to be independent and to be part of the free world alongside Fellinger doctrine and Fellinger economics. And I thank you very much for your attention. Please, President Trump, please on the line, be on the side of the light, of the good people of Biafra, of the Christians of Africa, and allow them their own state to live in security and peace and prosperity. Thanks a lot from Vienna. This is Günther Fellinger-Jahn speaking. All the best. Bye.
Thank you very much, Minister of Information. I think it's time we talk to Biafran people. My fellow citizens, let us all seize this opportunity to do what is right and to save the life of our children, our friends, our family members. GOVT is not a Biafra, but you can hear from his word that it's time for the Biafran people to be free. And if you're a Biafran listening, if you don't want to be in a free Biafra, you can pack your load, go to Abuja, go to Sokoto, go to Zamfara, leave us alone. Biafrans have been killed and massacred enough. We want our freedom. We yearn for freedom. And if you're in abroad or if you're in diaspora, remember one day you will want to visit Biafra land. Do you want to visit Biafra land and come back home alive? Or you want to visit Biafra land when these terrorists have overrun our land? Do you want to visit why these terrorists are ravaging everywhere, creating mayhem in our land? I believe you want to visit Biafra will be secured, a safe haven for you, where you can sleep at night without thinking about terrorists coming to burn you alive, cut your head off, cut your hand off. I have somebody who called me this morning. First of all, he is a Biafra. He starts singing praises, telling me what I'm doing, how we are doing good. At the time, I talked to him in a language. I let him know the land of Biafra to bless him. Since he identified and he knows that we Biafrans need to be free, he needs to support Biafran freedom. And I want him to stop calling me names, how great what we are doing. I told him, why can't he join what we are doing? Biafrans just decide to be fool, be stupid. This is no time for that. Wake up for freedom. GOVT from Europe is talking, and you are saying you are not talking about your. What a shame. This freedom, we must get it now. Nigerian violence. Islamic jihadist terrorists, they don't have the monopoly of violence. No one have monopoly of violence. We Biafrans will fight. We defend our land. Humanly possible. If you are not supporting your freedom, shame unto you. Benefit to allow these terrorists to take your land, to chase you out of your land. If they chase you out of your land, are you going to run to Australia, the country where GOVT from? Are you going to run to Japan? Are you going to run to Netherlands? Are you going to run to Amazonia? Amazonia is actually fighting for their own freedom. Are you going to? You see the chaos in Middle Belt already. Middle Belt are fighting for their life too. Are you going to run to the southwest, the Duduwa Republic, Yoruba? All these neighbors that even hate you with passion, they will not even open their border for you. Only where you have is Biafra land. If you don't believe Biafra is real, you just hear from the mount of GOVT. And he made clear that the best to do is for us to go our separate ways. That is only how you can bring security to that region. Because we Biafran people cannot succumb to the Nigerian threat. We are not Nigerian and will never be Nigerian. I'm so happy, so glad, delighted to be part of this great movement. This freedom that we are fighting for, like I always said, is the best thing that ever happened to me. I love it. Thank you, my fellow citizens. Thank you very much. Minister of Information, go ahead if you have talk to the Biafran people. I hope they are.
Yeah, they are listening, and I thank you, my Honorable APM. Before we exit the studio, Biafran people, we are using this opportunity to call on every Biafran. Watch out in the media and see anybody that is pushing for Biafra recognition, Biafra restoration. Let that person become your friend henceforth. Yes, because we build friends from seeing those that harvest. So watch out in the media. If a terrorist that was even killing you yesterday, then today you see him is shouting that Biafra should be free. Follow him and push what he's saying. Now that his brain is working. Yes. Because this is time to use every opportunity that is coming out. Today we see Gunter, a well-renowned fellow from the EU. The other day we saw Wallace. Tomorrow you don't know who will show up again. And we already have Senator Ted Cruz that is all over the place. So this is the power of the lobbying. Yes, there needed to have been a stone throw. From where the stone drops, it will hit on the floor and the dust will emit. So with the emission of the dust, it has been able to stain many people. And they look back and see the stain. And the stain is Biafra. The stain is Biafra. The stain is Biafra. So they need to ask a question. Why the Biafra on my dress code or on my body? That is how Biafra now becomes contagious. So make it spontaneous. And please look out in the media because we
Please,
need to speak for us.
Honorable Minister, before we forget, I want to support, please, fellow citizen, please, this is very important that you support your freedom. We have our two websites that our minister here will display. Kindly go there. Support the men and women that is defending your land. And we are doing everything we can, both our citizens that have run out of their ancestral land or their community because of these terrorists, to bring them back. They can't stay in IDP camp forever. What is happening in Benue State today, why it's not happening in Biafra land? It is because of our BDF. We are proud of our BDF. They are saving our life. They are fighting. They are defending the motherland. Biafra Defense Force. When I have meeting with Brian Musk, Foreign Affairs Minister of the United States of America, he asked me, Mazio Gechukunkere, acting Prime Minister of Biafra Republic Government in Gaza, do we have army? And I boldly, proudly say yes. Yes, sir. The army that defend massacre. That is how you can push these extremist, jihadist terrorists and ourselves from this Nigerian terrorist military. When you see this military, Nigerian military parading themselves over terrorists. Them in Biafra land. Do you think they are there to save our life? They are there to kill Biafrans. They are there with Islamic jihadist terrorists. They work hand in hand together. They colluded. Their agenda is our land. Their goal is to extremize us. Not only that, they still call infidel. Please support your Biafra is here. When I keep saying this months ago, when I say Biafra is here, Biafra is here. Some don't understand. Those that are still, please follow who know road. Follow the trend. Follow those ambassadors. The Biafra Republic government in Israel that is taking this fight to Washington, that is taking this diplomatic fight to Washington to talk to members of Congress, the need, the urgent, why they need to recognize Biafra. Remember, the only legitimate government that is piloting this affair of Biafran people is Biafra Republic government EZA, which I, Mazi Ogechukwu Nkere, is in Prime Minister. Any other government, whether you call it USB, BGC, CCC, DCB, CC, they are not legitimate. They are not part of BRIGI. BROGIE, Biafra Republic government, is the only legitimate government. Please, come home. Let us all unite, join hands together. Let's follow the trend. When you look at what is happening all over from Europe, all the mainstream media from Europe report about BRIGI, BROGIE, Republic government. None of these mainstream media talk about SB. None of them talk about CRC. None of them call all this non-entity group. Please, none of those sabotaging what we are doing, desist from it. Because we Biafran people, this is not accountable. Biafran people have been massacred and killed in millions. We are not finding it funny. We will fight with everything we have. We will resist with everything we have. We must defend our land. It's our job. We must defend our children, our mother, our uncle, niece, nephews. If that is sacrifice we made, so be it. If I, Mazi Ogechukwu Nkere, fighting for the freedom of Biafra, so fellow citizens, the Nigerian terrorist government, based on information disposal. They don't have in DC, make it public. And I asked if I would make public. They are doing everything, trying, get in touch with law to counter what we are doing. And based on information, the lobby they able to obtain or hire or not, they have a problem with the United States. Terrorists always remain terroristic. The lobby, they talk to the Nigerian government what they need. This how do we approach the United States of America? Do you government decline said they cannot, because they are is not to make Nigeria a better place. Their goal not to live and let live. Their goal is that they are Islamic jihadist agenda to turn the whole region, both Biafra land, Islamic. They want to turn all of us to convert to Islam, or whatever you call it. Not that they want to take our land. For that reason, the Nigerian terrorists are not succeeding in Washington, D.C. They left with disgrace to work with any law because they are not ready. They don't face security in that region. They just want to use chaos, drama, destroy everywhere so they will be able to achieve their goal. My fellow citizen, The time is now. Biafra is here. Thank you from the
Ndewo.
Gentlemen, welcome. I wish we have the time to
People must come out to say that enough is enough. When you talk, do you live in the forest in the north? The Igbo people are in Sabongeri in Kanu. Are they living in of course it's Hausa land? Are they living in the forest? They came to the town. They work very hard. They build houses. They build mansions. They do the entire place. Is that not what they do? Are Fulani people doing in our forest? Nobody can answer that question. They say that they're pastoralists. World aspiring to be a member of the UN Security Council, where you move cattle from place to place. Are you people well at all? You so-called Nigerians, are you normal in the brain? I'm asking you a simple question. Show me a country that aspires to be in the 21st century, moving cattle from place to place, telling me they're grazing. Which country is that? Please tell me. These are people they have prepared for you to sell you down the drain. By the time the Fulanis are done with you, believe you me, if you don't rise up now to fight for your freedom, by the time Fulanis are done with you, you'll be more useless than a Hausa peasant. And if you allow yourselves to be deceived, things can only get worse. Fulani terrorists will take over your land. Time and time again, I have warned you on this very matter, but some of you never ever listened. Because in this life, what goes around comes around. If you support evil because you're benefiting, eventually that evil will overwhelm you.
I'm not sure because I think on your show I once declared that Kanu's predicament or his ordeal is as a result of some persons in the Southeast who took a decision that his release would jeopardize their political career and future. That I know as far back as when Tinubu freshly became president, because I was part.
Toskimila, I just want to address you, okay? You know, Efulefus are always looking for where to make noise. We don't make noise. According to you, we don't need to tell people which government is responsible for Biafran recognition and Biafran restoration. What has happened in Washington, D.C. have opened the eyes of everybody. You saw the congressional, this picture that you see here, let me spotlight it. Toskimila, this picture that you see here is picture from the Biafran first ever congressional briefing that happened in Washington, D.C. under the Biafran Republic government in exile. Okay? It is not about making noise. Google Nigeria newspapers, you are going to see it written boldly. In fact, let me even look for it for you. Okay? So that you go and cover your shame. You go and cover your face with shame because you don't know what you are doing. You are a fool and understand you people. Whenever we see you, we know you for your statement tells us where you are, who you are, and where you are coming from. You are the terrorists that we have in Biafran land. Those who were bombed by the Fulanese. Money misroad. So Ngozi Orabueze is your henchwoman. We know she is the contracted woman to distract Biafrans, but we already know your type and we know her, okay? So you are here displaying your foolishness. If they ask you now, what can you tell us since 2024, what Ngozi have achieved? You cannot provide any one thing, anything that Ngozi have done. You cannot. You cannot show us evidence of what Ngozi have achieved. Not even one. I want to ask you, where is your embassy? The embassy you say you have in Washington, D.C. Where is it? Does it exist? No. Useless people everywhere. Nonsense. We don't tolerate useless people. Okay? So I don't even know why I should respond to you. So Biafrans are wonderful people. I really appreciate every one of you. People should understand that Biafra is here. And we are calling on Biafrans in home and in diaspora to come our government. They are doing marvelously well to make sure that our recognition comes sooner than later. Our lobbyists, lawyers, attorneys are doing what they need to do. Take engagement in Washington, D.C. as we speak. So don't listen to agents of Nigerian government. Don't listen to those who have sold their soul to the devil. Don't listen to the enemies of your freedom. They are here to destroy what we are doing, but they will never succeed. Look at them, Stephen Onyenehido. These are the people who, when you think that they are Biafrans, you are deceiving yourselves. All these people are Fulani breed. the terrorists that we have in Biafran territory, they are supporting themselves because Ngozi is a woman terrorist contracted by the Nigerian state to disorganize Biafrans. But they are not going to succeed because we are wiser now. Biafrans now understand who their enemies are or who their enemy is. Under the Biafran Republic government in exile, the world have come to understand that Biafran people can support their freedom. So if you are not part of this freedom, what are you waiting for? If you are not part of this freedom, what are you waiting for? What are you going to gain by not supporting the freedom of your people? What do you stand to gain by not supporting your own freedom? And this is also to remind Biafrans in the homeland that 6th, 7th, 8th are locked down in Biafran territory. Our people need to understand that we are no longer comfortable with anything of Nigeria election in Biafra land. Anything of Biafra or Nigeria election in Biafra land is prohibited. So on the 8th, 7th and 8th, I'll sit at home in Biafra. Make sure you are sitting at home because we have declared our nation Biafra and the world is watching. If you are part of those that voted for the self-referendum that was conducted last year, where over 50 million Biafrans voted to exit Nigeria, you should be very proud of yourself for the achievement that this government have done. And you should not be part of any Nigerian election in Biafran territories. Soludo, Anambra state politicians, those who are telling you about election, they are the enemies of the people. These people use election to renew their slavery. So if you join them to go and canvass or go out to vote or go out to campaign for any election, Nigeria will eventually happen to you. You'll be used for propaganda. So every Biafran in the homeland should be aware that 7th, 8th, today till 7, 8, 6, 7, 8, are sit at home. You are expected to be in your homes. Don't go out for any election in Biafran territory because we are no longer Nigerians. We are Biafrans. We are Biafrans. And the world is talking about Biafra as we speak. You must join hands to make sure that Biafra is restored. The Nigerian politicians, they are the ones responsible that we are facing in Biafran territory. Your lack of employment, no good roads, no hospitals, no light, no pipe-borne water, no industrialization, no good school, no good healthcare system. These politicians are the ones responsible for all these calamities in our land. And whenever they come for election and you go and renew your slavery, then you are helping them to achieve their objectives. So this is the time to tell them that we have restored our nation, that you are no longer in support of anything one Nigeria. So we know, we understand what our people are facing in the homeland. We understand hardship, and it's because of that hardship that the politicians use money in order to buy your conscience. And they are the reason why you are poor. They are the reason why we are having all this hardship. They are the reason why for this economic meltdown. They are the reason why you don't have jobs. They are the reason why you don't have industry in our communities. Because if you have a very good working environment, you have companies, there is no way you can be unemployed. But if you are employed, you are not going to be loyal to the government. You are not going to be loyal to all these politicians. So the politicians want you to be loyal to them. They want you to always come and double for them. They want you to come and kneel down. You come and wash their cars. You go and do some menial jobs for them. This is what they want. And they know they can only get all this that they want once they keep you impoverished, once they keep you poor, once they keep you unemployed. They know you will always come to them. So that is the reason why every 4 years, they now come and make promises, empty promises to you. They promise you heaven and earth. But once they get into that office, they abandon you, and there is nothing you can do. Take, for instance, when Soludo, all these governors, when they got into the office, what have they done? Soludo told you Mazin Nnamdi Kanu is going to be freed. Oh, they are going to talk about Biafra. But immediately Soludo became the governor of Anambra State. The first assignment the Fulani gave to him was to fight against it at home. The same thing applies to Ifeanyi Mba from Enugu State. Oti also did his own. All of them from A to Z. This is to show you that these people don't want a better living condition for Biafrans. And this is the reason why we Biafrans wants to make sure that our people have suffered much in the hands of all these politicians. And we must say enough is enough. So now the world have risen up to support Biafra. You that is a Biafran must show how committed you are for your freedom. You listen to the video I played whereby our brother was telling you the need for America to recognize Biafra. And if America should recognize Biafra, and if you want America to recognize Biafra, then what is your business with Nigeria election? It is not going to happen. We are not going to accept that until Biafra is fully restored as a nation. Nothing is going to work in Nigeria. We don't appreciate anything about Nigeria. We want to be free as a people. We want our people to enjoy good life. We want our people to have good roads. We want to have good hospital. We want to have a good working condition for our people. So, any one of you that is not supporting Biafra is an enemy of Biafra. Anybody that is telling you, oh, go and tell Trump this, go and do this, go and do that, don't listen to them. They are the enemies of Biafra. They are our enemies. They tell you, oh, they don't want you to go. They want you to remain. But Nigeria do not welcome us. And in fact, we have visited Nigeria. Nothing is going to make us to come back to Nigeria. It's not going to happen. Oh, you have many. You are this, you are that. What is your problem about how many we are, how many groups that we are? We only have one Biafran Republic government in Ezra. It is recognized in Washington, D.C. In American state that is fighting for the Nigerian state. So anybody that is asking question, how many groups are you? We have only Biafra Republic government in Ezra. Go and Google it. You know, not even Google it. You don't even need to Google it. Go and search all the news, the write-ups that came out from Washington, D.C. these recent days. From there, you are going to know the body that America recognized or the world recognized as the only body that is fighting for the freedom of the Biafran people. They have only mentioned Biafra Republic government in exile. Did you hear any other group? So why are you asking me about any other group? There is no other group. Okay? No other group exists. No other body exists. All those bodies that existed is Nigeria agents. Nigeria are paying them to come and try to see if they can stop what we are doing or sabotage what we are doing. Okay? So they will only try, but they can never succeed. That is how it is. And there is no nation that got their freedom without having other factions who are agents of the government that they try to free themselves from. Africa was fighting for freedom. They also have divisions among them. But ANC was the only, strong force that was recognized fighting for the liberation of South Africa from apartheid. So the same thing applies to Nigeria, Biafra. In this case and contest, we have only Biafran Republic government in exile. This is the recognized government in charge of Biafra restoration and Biafra recognition. So, if you don't know that, I want you to know now and educate yourself about BRGIE. The men that you see, the men and women that you see in this picture are some of the cabinet members under Brigi, Biafran Republic government in exile. So this is the only body that when you support financially, your money is going to be used judiciously for Biafra The Biafran Republic government in exile will pay you back with 100% interest rate. When you loan the government your money, when Biafra is fully restored, BRGIE will pay you with 100% interest on it. Don't give your money to those who are funding a bubago. Don't give your money to those who are supporting Nigerian government against our freedom. Of course, you don't need me to tell you that Ngozi Orabueze and her group are funding a bubago in Biafran territory. Do you need me to tell you that? Of course, you don't need it to tell you that Emma Madabu of the CRC, every other group that is not supporting BRGIE, our Nigerian government. They are the ones that Nigerian government are praising. They are the ones that Nigerian government cannot hold responsible. Nigerian government cannot talk ill against them because they are branch of the Nigerian government that are in exile or in fighting against those who are actually fighting for their freedom. So when you see that the DOS, IPOB is telling you, oh, they don't want to go and protest for Mazin Nnamdi Kanu, or they don't support Biafran Republic government in exile, you ask yourself, what is it that Biafran Republic government in exile have done that these people are not going to support? What do they have against Biafran Republic government in exile? Because the Biafran Republic government in exile are fighting for their freedom. So if you are fighting for freedom and you see that Biafran Republic government think that these people are Biafrans, you see them somebody now, they think that Olivos is a Biafran. Far from it. Forget about the name. These people are not Biafrans, so forget about the name. Their mindset, what they write, what comes out from their mouth, we make you to understand where they are coming from. They are not Biafrans. These are Fulanis who were born in Biafran land. They answer your names, but they don't want you to be free. Tell me why a Biafran who knew what Biafran people suffered between 1967 to 1970 will not support the freedom of his people. Tell me the reason why. The only reason is that that person is not a Biafran. There is no two ways about it. So once you see them, you should recognize them from who they are. So I really appreciate every one of you. Thank you so much. Support your freedom. Support. Mazin Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped because of our freedom. Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoku is also detained because of our freedom. So why will you now fold your hands and sit on the fence while your people are fighting to make sure that we liberate ourselves from Nigeria terrorism against us? Don't make yourself an enemy to your freedom. Follow those who know the road to Washington, D.C. And the only person or group of persons, government or body that knows the road to Washington, D.C. is Biafra Republic government in exile, under the leadership of our acting Prime Minister, His Excellency Honorable Ogechukwu Nkere, and our lobbyists, active Elias Jarasoris, and these are the ones people who know road to Washington, D.C. Not all these Achikote Ekwono agents, they are not part of what we are doing. Don't mind what they write in the comment sections. They are not part of us. They are against our freedom. And I want you to know that. So we encourage everybody to support our government at this time. Our acting prime minister have called for unification. If you know that you want freedom for your people, you should know that it is BRGIE that is in charge at this time. So come on board and support BRGIE. If you don't want to be known, you can as well support anonymously. Once you donate or make your donation through the website, you can keep your receipt. Once Biafra is fully restored, then you can now use your receipt as evidence of your support to the government and to the freedom of your people. A lot of people are well-to-do, making money in diaspora and in Biafra land in Nigeria, but are not supporting the freedom of their people. I want you to know that this world, you can never live till eternity. If you think that you are enjoying life under Nigeria, because of that you can't support Biafra, Nigeria have ended. And when Nigeria happens to you, I don't know where you are going to go and seek refuge. If you seek refuge in diaspora, what about if you are being pursued in diaspora? There is no place like home. And that is the reason why you must support to make sure that your home is very safe and secure. That is why you must make sure that your children that you have given birth to abroad, when they are being threatened outside their homes, outside their country, you can now have a place to call your own. This is the reason why we are fighting for Biafra. A lot of us have children abroad. These your children don't know their ancestral land. They don't know where they come from. They only know that their father come from where southeastern part of Nigeria. You have to educate your people. You have to educate your children for them to know that you come from Biafra land. And once they have that knowledge, once you are not there, they will remember home. And at this particular time, it is not safe for them to be in Biafra land. And you cannot be here forever. That is why you must prepare a safe country for them. You must make sure that you support the liberation of Biafra land, so that when Biafra land is free, your children can now come home whenever they desire, without fear of harassment, terrorism, intimidation, kidnappings, and all the rest of all these vices that Nigeria is known for. So thank you so much, Biafrans. We have really spent time today. Thank you for being part of this program. I want to use this opportunity to appreciate BRG cabinet members, men and women that have stood their ground, stood very strong for this government and for the Biafran people, because it is not about individuals. It is about Biafra as a nation. I appreciate every one of you. even when the Sabos struck and wanted to destroy the road to our freedom, these men and women stood gallantly and steered the ship and made sure that they never succeeded in the sabotage. I appreciate the cabinet members, I appreciate our ministers, I appreciate our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpanjoku. I appreciate our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I appreciate our active APM, His Excellency Honorable Ogechukwu Nkere. I appreciate our Information Minister, the Okokondem of our time, Mazi Sani Akparawa. I also appreciate our media team, the wonderful media that BRGIE have. I appreciate each and every one of you, my colleagues. I also appreciate our wonderful lobbyist, Elias. He has demonstrated his commitment as he made a promise to our government and the Biafran people. He is fulfilling it as well. I appreciate our lobbyists, our wonderful attorney, and whenever we appreciate Elias, we are appreciating moral strategies, moral global strategies. Very, very important, because Elias is representing moral strategies, moral global strategies, okay? So we appreciate that firm. Jim Moral, we appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. Continue to do what you know best how to do until Biafra is fully restored. And we are going to celebrate in our land, and all those nations, all those people that supported Biafra, they will never regret it. Yes, we will always be indebted to them. We appreciate them for their wonderful contribution for our freedom. So, thank you so much. Biafrans, lovers of freedom, wonderful people, thank you so much for being part of this. As I will be signing out from here, I say airborne to the Biafran Defense Forces. These men and women are the reason why our land is safe. We appreciate them for their commitment. We appreciate them for their doggedness, their steadfastness. We appreciate them all for the sacrifices made in relation to our freedom. They make sure that the enemies are kept at bay. The terrorists are not having it easy. They are not breeding and can never breed in our land, because our land is the land of Chukwu Okike Abiama himself. And Biafra is God's ordained project, and it must come in our own time. And when Biafra is fully restored, like our leader said, we are going to dance in the street of the whole world to appreciate Chukwu Okike Abiama. And goodbye from here.